Welcome to the Brawdy Show, where the next 2 minutes will teach you all you need to know. Hi, I'm Brian with you, and to jump right into it this morning, know that what it takes to spark your smart, as we called it in the tease, what it takes, because it's go time now, make no mistake. So what are we going to do to spark your smart? Ultimately, remember who you are and where you are. You're in here in the labyrinth of life where you get to weaponize anything coming at you. I was speaking to a counselor today, an advisor, a financial advisor, who said, I don't think you realize just how bad it's going to be. Now, for those people that aren't prepared to mortal up, I imagine maybe it is kind of tough. But for you and I, confident in our own abilities, confident to be able to rise to any occasion, knowing that what it takes to spark our smart is to remember who we are and everything that we're ultimately capable of. Because fragile is a philosophy. Delicate is a decision. You and I decide. Which, you talk about head scratching. I heard today, well, they're very harrowing times. They're not harrowing. They're highlighting. They're highlighting what you're ultimately capable of, what you're good at. So I think one of the reasons that there's some of us like you that aren't terribly afraid about what the future holds is that we know the future is nothing more than a rallying cry. That fate poking us in the chest is nothing more than the opportunity. The arrow, the incoming arrow, is nothing more than a blessing that allows us to show what we're made of. And that's why I think the camps are evenly split. Maybe not even evenly split. Maybe there's more in the other camp that want protected. They want nurtured. They want sheltered. They want some insurance policy. And then the other side of the coin is everyone realizes, or those people that realize, that insurance policy is insane. There's nothing you can do to prevent the inevitable. But what you can do in this particular moment and all of time is spark your smart by remembering who you ultimately are. No more amnesia. No more buying in. I read an article right before we came on this morning that says, well, maybe some of the colleges are going to be looking pretty tough in the fall. Don't know what it's going to mean. Wow, it's going to mean that you're going to have to educate yourself. You're going to have to teach yourself. You're going to have to fall back on the very best parts of you, the marrow of your own mind. Wait a minute. It means that we don't get to go through life anymore being a fraud. We don't get to go through life relying on everyone else around us, but that in this particular moment in all of time, we might actually have to rally our natural resources, that we might have nothing to fall back on but the marrow of our own minds, maybe a little bit of our authentic vigor. I'm in for that. So when we blend the marrow of our minds, the authentic vigor, our natural resources, what do we get? We get you. And the ability for you to handle damn near anything. So that's why when we talk about fate and we say, look, fate wants to come and bring it, say, come on, fate, you needed some more power. You needed some more friends. You needed some more backup before you can even begin to believe you're going to take us down. And when everyone else is cowered in the corner, everyone else is worried about what life holds, what does life hold? Challenge. That's what it holds. That's what life is. You draw in a breath, it's a challenge to be able to get that breath out. Your heart beats one beat, it's a challenge for it to beat the next. That's the gig. That's what you and I were dropped off here to do. And you've heard me say before, who was it? Brad Pitt, I think was his name, the actor with the blonde hair in the movie's Achilles. He says, the gods envy us because we're mortal. You've probably heard me say that's why the aliens are busy buzzing all over the place, doing a low fly, abducting people and doing some tests on them. Why? Because the aliens, like Achilles and Brad Pitt and the gods, they're envious of us as well. Why? Because we're mortals. And why? I believe it's because you and I can rally our resources at the drop of a hat when we remember who we are and that ultimately we have those resources. We're not going to sit in the corner, cower. We're not going to cry about the hand that fate has dealt us. We're going to play the hand out and see where that goes. And if we take an arrow, we'll keep moving in the direction of a sling. That's what happens. Take the bow, hit us with it. We're going to keep coming. And that's what happens. That's how you're able to even be in a position to spark your own smart, because it's in there. It's buried in you. Again, once we get rid of that amnesia, all the things you were educated, all the things that you were taught, all the things that were just kind of like piled on you, like plaster. Like sometimes you put on so much moisturizer, your face just feels like it's caked on. Well, that's what happens to your authentic vigor. That's what happens to the marrow of your own mind. You begin to believe all the press clippings. You begin to believe everything that's said about you. I said yesterday over on Facebook that, look, only the fragile, only the fragmented fear the opinions of another person, right? In order for a slur to sting, you got to invite it in. You want to spark your own smart? Do so by ignoring the drool of other people. Do so by ignoring all the toxicity in your life, all those things that would hold you back. And when it comes to sparking your smart, as we talked about, sparking your smart is simply activating what's already there. There's nothing to get. You're not a human getting. You're a human being. And everything you've ever needed, you've always had. And now I would say is the time that you and I move to employ those things. Because ultimately, there's going to come a fork in the road where you're going to have to decide, where employers are going to decide. If you listen to this advisor today, it's going to get a lot worse. What are you and I going to do? We're going to rise to the top no matter what. Because let me tell you this, in all times of adversity, in all disasters, the people that rise to the top do one thing and only one thing. Do you know what that one thing is? They mortal up. They pick themselves up. They bring their own bold. They look at the situation at hand and say to fate, is that all you brought? You picked the wrong guy. You picked the wrong girl to fight. And that's why I'm so excited for you, because these times, these just highlight who we are. Nothing to be petrified about. It highlights who we are as a human being and not a human getting, constantly looking for a handout from someone else in order to be able to do what we know we were put here for. Now, tomorrow morning on All Natural Being, we'll be talking a little bit more. All Natural Being, look at that. There's a flashback. On the Brian Brawdy Show, we'll be talking a little more about it, how fate is a predator. And you, my friend, you and me both, we are the targets. We'll be talking about that tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, remember, always, always, always to look up, stand up, bring your own bold and mortal up, because I believe, the people around you believe, there's never been a better time to be who you truly are. Don't be one of those ones that are stampeded into the ground. Be one of those ones that rises to the top by remembering who you are, remembering your natural resources, the marrow of your mind, your authentic grit, the fact that you are truly unstoppable, because those are the feelings you're going to be able to fall back on. With as challenging as the days ahead might be, those will be the feelings that you're comforted by, that you can pull off literally anything when you remember who you ultimately are, and that allows you to spark your smart. All right, don't forget, join us over at mortalup.com, mortalup.com. If there's anything we can do for you, we would absolutely love to. So in the interim, have a fantastic day. And remember, as I said a little while ago, just remember who you are. It's in you. There's nothing to get. There's nothing to procure. There's nothing, oh, well, one day I want. What did Carl Sandburg, the poet, say? Echo. Or what does he say? Hope. It's like an echo. It bids you yonder, yonder, yonder. So I don't wish you any hope at all. I wish you a clear head. I wish you to magnify the moment and see everything that the universe has brought for you to weaponize this particular moment in all of time. That's what I wish for you for today. And to spark your smart by remembering who you already are. We didn't say get your smart, find your smart, buy your smart, mastermind yourself through smart. No, we said spark it because it's already in you. Have an absolutely fantastic day.